Devastating wildfires in California's Los Angeles has killed at least 11 people, destroyed some 10,000 buildings, caused evacuation of over 180,000 people. The massive fire burning since Tuesday has resulted in a damage, the estimations are around $150 billion, spread to residential areas. The blaze had engulfed neighborhood of Hollywood that was also evacuated. The order was later lifted on Thursday morning after the fire in the hills were brought under control. Californians on Friday demanded to know who is at fault for the vast devastation as a strict curfew went into force to prevent looting and lawlessness.
I think it's a combination of 50-50, you know, government could have done a better job. Maybe they were to blame, also nature, climate change. Too many fingers to point at this moment that I don't have time, you know, more so thinking about where am I going to live? Because even if our building is standing, there's nothing nearby. The air quality is terrible. I feel for people who don't have the privilege like me to be okay and feel safe. And I mean, it's just one thing after another. They won't let us breathe.
Meanwhile, U.S. President Joe Biden affirmed full support of the White House in response to the ongoing fires and its impact.
We've still got a long way to go, as we're out to hear from the governor and others. And while the winds have died down for the time, we expect they'll remain a threat until early next week. So we're going to keep working 24/7 to support state and local officials to fully stop these fires as soon as possible.
The officials issued air quality alerts, urged people to stay indoors in areas where smoke was visible. Schools cancelled classes. Scientists warned about fatal consequences of the wildfire smoke. Environmentalists and doctors warn that particulate matter poses hazard to people with pre-existing lung and heart conditions, as well as the elderly and children. And for the latest, DD India's Akshay Dongre joins us live at the moment. Akshay, what is the latest on the wildfire situation in Los Angeles, and how are the resources, capacity of the administration pushed to the brink really to contain them?
Well, absolutely. In fact, Shirendu, it's not just the active duty firefighters that have been called into duty as far as the operations are concerned, but the government has also issued notices to even the retired firefighters to come and serve as far as the blazes are concerned. So it's not just one fire that is there in Los Angeles right now. There are multiple fires. In fact, over 5 fires have been reported. These are major fires we are talking about that are devastating the different communities. When in fact we have heard the reaction of people. The air quality is going down. People have lost their homes. People have lost their lifetimes of savings. People have, many people have died. In fact, as you rightly mentioned, the latest figure of a death toll right now is 11, and several people have also gotten injured. Have been burnt in these fires. We cannot even imagine the kind of losses to the wildlife that has caused due to these fires that are taking place. And even though LA is not seeing these kind of fires for the first time, but the kind of fire that we are seeing this time around is unprecedented. In fact, one of the wealthiest suburbs, one of the wealthiest states of the United States, California alone, accounting to several trillion of several $trillion of worth of economy, is facing these kind of situation. Really goes on to show that first of all, the authorities were not prepared for this. Probably the experts were not consulted enough, or the when the fires had started, there are reports coming in that many reservoirs which could have been repaired and which could have been there filled with water were empty, and that perhaps has also led to the present situation. Back to you.
Right, Akshay, if we look at the bigger picture, 2024 has been declared as the hottest year on record. To what extent are these devastating fires seen as a sort of direct outcome of climate change?
Well, Shubhendu, you have rightly mentioned, even though the authorities have failed, but the kind of fires that we are seeing is a direct result of climate change. Now, the reason behind this is obviously the Santa and winds that we are seeing that are cold and that are dry, gushing to California states. But it is, if you look at the bigger picture, it's not just the hot weather that is contributing, but it is a combination of different kind of extreme weather patterns that are resulting in this fire. For example, in 2022 and 2023, California received heavy rainfall in the entire state, unprecedented kind of a rainfall, which resulted into a lot of trees, bushes, shrubs growing. So a lot of fauna and flora evolved as far as these kind of rainfall is concerned. And then suddenly, after just a year, in this year we are seeing a record drought in the region. So all the trees that had grown because of the extreme rainfall in 2022 and 2023, they are parched now. The woods have become the woods have all become dry and parched. There is no water in the soil or for trees to absorb, and that has being the direct impact of climate change. So for example, we are seeing extreme rainfall, then we are seeing extreme drought, and these kind of weather patterns are a direct result of climate change, and they can result into fires like these. And this is just a beginning, experts are warning, because if the weather pattern continue to remain the same, then it will not only be just California, but different parts of the world which will see these kind of devastating fires. And this is in fact a tragedy unfolding right in front of us.
Akshay, thank you for joining us with those updates.